You're not out here selling roses?
I am.
You are? So he's out here doing the roses. We tried just talking to him. Do you have a business license?
I don't need that to sell.
You do need a business license to sell anything, or a peddler's license.
No.
You have an ID on you?
Why?
What are you doing?
You're getting ready to go to jail, is why.
This is how police officers treated a 13-year-old kid who was selling palmetto roses in front of a Walmart in Summerville, South Carolina.
If you don't stop, I'm going to tase you. You understand? Put your hands behind your back. Because we know they're going to want him on trespass. He's only 13, apparently.
Let's go through the footage and see whether the officers violated this kid's rights. Right off the bat, let's compare this situation to a 3-year-old little girl who was selling lemonade in Kansas City a couple of years ago.
Do you want to see a police officer today? Are you going to hug him?
Yeah.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Police officer.
Yeah.
Another one. Is that exciting?
She's been out here since 7, so that energy is coming from somewhere.
Oh my gosh, the sheriff!
Oh, the sheriff's here!
Dude, we got the whole street!
Oh my gosh. Got it, honey? Here. Oh, look at her.
She's on cloud 9, guys. Introduce yourself, Hannah, and shake your hand. Hi, I'm Kate. Nice to meet you. Say, I'm Hannah.
The way the officers treated the 3-year-old girl was great. But you say the 3-year-old girl was nice to the officer. She wants to be a police officer when she grows up. Yes, but would she want to be a police officer if the officers came up to her aggressively and accusatory and in a demeaning way, in a threatening way? Would she still have reacted the same, or would she have cried and run to her mother, her grandmother, and never ever want to see a police officer again? These sorts of things don't happen in a vacuum. So let's compare the situation with the 3-year-old girl in Kansas City with what happened in South Carolina. On April 1st, officers with the department's hospitality team, LOL, were patrolling North Main after receiving complaints about people loitering and selling palmetto roses. 2 officers, Guy and Sergeant Catherine Kirkland, used a public announcement system in their marked patrol vehicle to tell the 2 young men selling palmetto roses in front of Walmart to move along. When they refused, now this is according to the cop's statement, the officers exited the vehicle to speak with them. Because the 2 sellers were blocking the entrance and exit of Walmart, officers asked them to step aside. Well, you can see for yourself.
Do you have a hearing problem?
I'm gonna try and be nice, but you got your ID with you, man? Come here.
You have an ID on you?
Why?
What are you doing?
You're getting ready to go to jail, is why.
How?
How? Because I'm gonna put you in that car.
I do go to jail. So you ain't about to talk.
So you're not out here selling these roses?
Yep, I am.
You're not out here selling roses?
I am.
You are? Do you have a business license?
I don't need that to sell.
You do need a business license to sell anything, or a peddler's license.
No.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Again, you'll go to jail for that.
Right there on my face. I ain't about to play with you, bro.
Listen,
Don't play with me.
Bro, you ain't about to do shit.
do you have an ID on you?
Stop it, bro.
Right off the bat, Officer Guy's approach was aggressive and did not attempt to de-escalate the situation, according to State Representative Marvin Pendarvis, who's representing this 13-year-old in the video. He said this was an overreaction, this was an escalation, there was no attempt to try to de-escalate the event from the time that they approached him. The 13-year-old sells the rose-shaped flowers made with palmetto palm fronds quite often, though this was his first time selling them at the Walmart along Summerville's North Main Street. He's on spring break this week. He was spending his time off from school trying to make an honest buck in the spirit of entrepreneurism. It's not uncommon, whether it's Girl Scouts or church groups or Little League groups, to gather in front of storefronts selling cookies, selling lemonade, selling whatever to make an honest buck or to raise money for particular situations. He asked this question, and it's a good one. If there were Girl Scouts set up there, would the results have been the same? So what you've seen already is how they escalated just from 0 to 100 in no time. And now, just boom, we have violence.
Yes, you do.
Again, you'll go to jail for that.
Right there on my face. I ain't about to play with you, bro.
Listen,
Don't play with me.
Bro, you ain't about to do shit.
do you have an ID on you?
Stop it, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Stop.
So Officer Guy chose violence. This was his justification. One of the individuals refused to identify himself and continued to use profanity towards the officers, while customers were attempting to enter or exit the building. Because he was not cooperating, the officers attempted to detain him. According to the police department, Officer Gee grabbed his hand and he immediately curled his arm up to resist. The rose peddler then pushed the officer into a wall, so the officer held him against his body to prevent the individual from fleeing the scene.
Stop! Get a hand!
20.
Get a hand!
Out front of Walmart. Give me your hand. Now. Give me your hand. Stop. 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 Give me your hand. Now. Give me the hand.
Put a cuff on it.
Officer Kirkland then gave loud verbal commands for the individual to stop resisting and secured a handcuff on the person's left wrist. As the officers were attempting to gain control of the situation, the seller struck Officer Kirkland in the face with a closed fist. This statement from the police alleges, though see for yourself, do you see that in the video?
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Now. Get on. Ah! Fuck! Damn it. If you don't stop, I'm going to tase you. You understand? Put your hands behind your back. Put your other hand behind your back.
What are you doing? Give this right hand. Out. Stop it. Straight to your side.
Stop yelling, please, okay? Give me your hand.
It's me. Hey, Fred.
I can't believe it. You're going to have to loosen the wound a little bit.
2497, you guys said 4.
One detained.
One to go. Roll. Move on your stomach. On your stomach.
Fuck.
Stay like that.
Stop. Dispatch, can I get one more unit, please?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, 4. Did you get punched? He's under arrest for that.
Dude, what is your problem? This is stupid. Just trying to talk to you.
Dude, we were just trying to talk to you. Is that true? I believe this is called gaslighting. This is what really happened.
Do you have an ID on you?
Stop the ground, little fuck.
We're at the regular entrance, not the grocery one. We're just inside the doors.
13, you're doing all this to a cop.
13? You punched me in the damn eye, man.
Hey, don't engage. I got it. Go outside. Any sliding you told me.
Calm down.
Kathy, step outside. Johnny and I got this. Let's hold on. Give me a second. Something wrong with me?
Fuck. God.
Page 719, code 3. Where they at?
I think we're probably gonna have to have EMS.
Go have some. Just want to struck in the face.
They're inside the door just right there if you want to go see what they need.
Careful, dude. You can open it here.
David! They know how to shut the door, alright? Why are you hanging out? Yeah. So he's out here doing the roses. We tried just talking to him. And he wanted to act like he didn't hear us, so we get out with him. That's gonna be okay, man. And he starts with like, hey, we need your ID. Because we know they're gonna want him on trespass. He's only 13 apparently. It's right in the eye.
You see the lady out there with her cell phone. Really, that's why you're hearing about this. That is Mimi Rivers, and she originally took the video that went viral off of her phone. This is her post on Facebook where she says, dropping my daughter off, first day at work, Walmart in Somerville, and this happened because they were selling flowers. Who baby is this? This is making sure he's okay. That then prompted the Somerville police to post the body cam footage, or the raw body cam footage. And as often happens, they think that the public is going to agree with them, but do you agree? What's the rest of the story? Well, not a whole lot. After the kid was handcuffed, he told the officers that he was only 13, and because he was underage, police will not release his name. He declined medical attention, and the officer who was allegedly punched in the face by him was treated by EMS at the scene, according to the cops. The rose peddler, as they referred to him, was charged with assaulting an officer engaged in official duties and released to his mother. The cops also said that the officers determined that the second person who had been selling palmetto roses was on an active trespass notice for Walmart. Police say that they've previously responded to several businesses that have complained about shoplifting by juveniles who were selling palmetto roses. Prove it. We will continue to conduct a thorough review of this incident to ensure our officers followed proper protocols and identify any areas for improvement, the police chief said in an April 2nd statement. Well, let me see if I can help you identify some areas for improvement here. Just give me a few minutes to think about it. I'm sure I can come up with something. In almost all of these videos, the police officers involved could have completely avoided negative exposure to the public if they had just used a little bit of common sense and some compassion. You can't just be aggressive in every situation. I tell people that practicing law, you don't want a lawyer who's just aggressive constantly. 9 times out of 10, you get what you want or what your client wants by being nice to people, by being courteous, by having compassion, by being polite, by having conversations with people. It's almost always time to be nice. That's what's effective. Until it's time to not be nice. Here, the critics will say, well, that's what happens when you fight with police. You don't fight with police. You don't be rude to the police. Both of these things can be true. When you're a police officer, you're going to encounter children who are not nice to you for whatever reason. There could be 100 different reasons. It's not your job to judge them for that or to punish them. A little bit of being polite, of being nice, could have gone a long way here. This wasn't a kid who was shoplifting. This wasn't a kid who was standing outside selling drugs. This is a kid who's making roses out of palm fronds. Come on, or out of palmetto leaves, whatever they are. I should know this. How could they have handled this differently? They could have said, well, Walmart called us. They don't want you out here. You have to leave. And then if they don't leave, well, you take it to the next step. Instead, they didn't even bother speaking to them in person. We don't see this part in the video, but they called to them on the loudspeaker, like they're holding hostages or something, and then got out and just got in their face and were rude to them, condescending. How can you expect anything different than the reaction that they did receive? All of this could have been avoided just by being nice. Legally speaking, what are the rights here? Were rights violated? This started off as a consensual encounter. The kid wasn't immediately detained. They started asking him questions. They did not have probable cause to arrest the kid, far as I know. He wasn't under arrest, as far as I know. They were investigating, which they like to do. They didn't give him any warning, just attacked him with violence. So we went from a consensual encounter, where the kid was never told he wasn't free to leave. In fact, he was supposed to leave. That was the whole problem. To boom, not only is he detained, but he's detained with brute force, with physical violence. Should he have not resisted? Should he have not fought back? We don't see him punching, but should he have not resisted them whatsoever? Yeah. But our question here is never looking at both sides 50-50, who was in the right, who was in the wrong. This is an action taken under color of law by the government of the other individual. It's not an equal interaction. Did the government act reasonably? Did they violate the Fourth Amendment by acting unreasonably under the circumstances? To detain him, all they needed was reasonable suspicion. They probably had that. You've seen enough Walmart trespassing cases to know that. But that doesn't mean that they get to do whatever they want with them. Just go automatically use violence. I think they used excessive force on this kid here. They should have given him the opportunity. They should have been nice, as I said. They should have given him the opportunity to leave. And if he refused to leave, then you do what you got to do. They skipped several steps, which were completely reasonable. And this officer, Guy, went straight to violence. I believe that that was excessive and that violated the kid's constitutional rights. But let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. Follow me on Twitter, John Bryan ESQ, where we go over legal stuff and also completely unrelated history stuff. If you have a video you want me to look at or review, you can ask me on Twitter. I've been quite active on there. Also, use the submission link below. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins, because selling palm frond roses is really scary. Deal with it.